Hi, my name is Gidget, and I'm going to share with you how to do the Trim Path diet. The Trim Path protocol comes in 5 phases. The first phase is your 2 gorge days. The second is 21 to 40 days on 500 calories, taking your drops. The third phase is 3 days, 500 calories, no drops. The fourth phase is your first 3 weeks of maintenance, adding no sugar and no added carbs. The fifth phase is the second 3 weeks of maintenance, adding back in your sugars and carbs.
Okay.
Details of the diet. You're going to eat 2 meals a day. You're never going to repeat the same foods twice in a day. You're going to drink lots of water. You're going to have up to 4 items at each meal, and don't worry, you'll be full. If you're not full and you're hungry or you're not feeling well, you need to make sure that you give us a call so we can address those issues. Our protein choices are beef, buffalo, veal, shrimp, crab, lobster, whitefish, tuna, scallops, venison, chicken breast, a 1/4 cup of non-fat cottage cheese, or 1 egg plus 3 egg whites. When it comes to vegetables, there's a little rule that we have to make sure that we follow. You cannot mix your vegetables. When you eat a vegetable, you only eat one at a time. It's very important. The first 3 vegetables you're allowed to have 1 cup of: asparagus, tomatoes, and onions. The next group of vegetables you're allowed 2 cups of: lettuce, cucumber, celery, cabbage, chicory, beet greens, Swiss chard, fennel, spinach, and radishes. Again, we don't mix our vegetables. Your fruit choices are an orange, 4 to 8 strawberries, an apple, or 1/2 a grapefruit. Note with the orange and the apple, it's any size, so you don't have to get a little one. You can get a nice big apple. Your bread choices are 20 calories of a grissini breadstick or a Melba toast. Most people will find that they're not hungry enough to eat all 4 items at one meal. So typically what most people do is they'll get up in the morning, and for breakfast they'll have a fruit choice. They'll have a nice big apple, they'll cut it up, put some cinnamon and some Truvia on it, put it in the microwave, and have that for breakfast. You can eat up to 4 items at each meal. Most people find that they're not hungry enough to eat all 4 items at mealtime. So what a lot of people do is they will have a fruit in the morning, they'll have a protein and vegetable for lunch, maybe a breadstick in the afternoon for a snack, a meat and vegetable for dinner, and save a fruit for in the evening. Remember, it's recommended that you eat your meat and vegetable twice a day as a meal. You can add your fruit to that meal, or you can eat them throughout the day as a snack. If you have gallbladder disease or gout, before starting the program, please call and talk to one of our medical practitioners. Okay, the first thing that I'd like you to take out is your daily journal. That's something that you're going to have with you all day, every day. If you notice, in the beginning of the book, it has everything listed that you can have on protocol. It also has a great section that you can have the day of your cycle and how many pounds you lost, and have a wonderful graph of your success. The next thing that's very important, because sometimes the scale doesn't move as quickly as we would like, is taking your measurements. If you notice, it has on this side where exactly you're supposed to take your measurements. You take them at the beginning of the cycle, the middle of the cycle, and the end of the cycle. Then we have our daily pages. The day of the week, the day of the cycle, what your weight was. You write down everything that you eat, if you had any comments, any challenges, and how you felt. What this does is if you call us, maybe you're not losing as much as you think you might, or you're not feeling well, we can ask you to go over what you've eaten with us. So that's very important. There's enough of those pages for 40 days. Then if you notice towards the back, we start with our maintenance record. Remember, the first 3 weeks of maintenance, we don't have any added sugar and no added carbs. After our daily pages, we have our maintenance record. This is where you keep track of your progress during maintenance. We also have in the back, if necessary, blood pressure and blood sugar logs. The other thing that you have in your kit is our grocery card. It's wonderful because it has anything and everything on there that you can have on the diet. You can just slide that into your purse and take it to the grocery store with you. If you have your Body Path Transformation book, let's go through that together. On page 1, it talks about the healing power of homeopathic medicine. It also talks about the Trim Path drops and our hypothalamus. When on the program, you're not allowed to have any sugar. Notice on page 5 all the different names for sugar that you need to avoid. The only sweeteners that are allowed when we're on the program is stevia and Truvia. When on the program, you will use a lot of spices to keep your food interesting. Just remember that you need to make sure that you check the labels for added sugars, oils, and starches. If you would turn to page 10 of your book, this is another very important part of our program that you need to follow. Anything that you put on your body during the drop portion of the protocol needs to be oil-free. So think about your cosmetics, about your shampoo, about your lotions, your moisturizers. Anything that you're putting on your body needs to be oil-free. Our protocol-friendly personal care products are listed on page 11. If you would turn to page 17 of your book, this is actually where it's going to show you how to do the Trim Path diet. You have a 3-ounce bottle and a 1-ounce bottle. They're the exact same product, just one is smaller for your purse. What you're going to do is you're going to take your drops and you're going to shake them. You're going to put 10 drops in the dropper, you're going to put them under your tongue, and you're going to hold it for 2 minutes. You're not going to eat, drink, smoke, or brush your teeth 15 to 30 minutes before or after taking your drops. We don't want to dilute them, okay? So you're going to take your drops 3 times a day under the tongue, hold them for 2 minutes, swallow, be sure not to eat, drink, smoke, or brush your teeth 15 to 30 minutes before, 15 to 30 minutes after. It's very important that you eat lots of fattening foods during the gorge days. It sounds like it would be fun, but believe me, you're not hungry on the drop, so it's not as easy as it sounds. On the 3rd day is when the 500 calorie portion of the diet begins. You're going to continue to take your drops 3 times a day, and you're going to follow the 500 calorie portion of the diet. Remember, eating a meat and vegetable for lunch, a meat and vegetable for dinner, adding your fruits to the meal, or spreading them out throughout the day as a snack. That's up to you. You're going to be on the drops, the 500 calorie portion of the diet, for a minimum of 21 days and no more than 40 days. Whenever it fits into your schedule and you know you want to be done with the 500 calorie portion of the diet, you need to make sure that the last 3 days that you're on the program, you continue the 500 calorie portion of the diet with no drops. Remember, we need to get the Trim Path drops out of your system before you go on to maintenance and start eating oils and sugars again. If while on the program, you don't lose a half a pound for 3 or 4 days in a row, please refer to page 25 and 26 in your book that will give you some ideas on how to break your plateau. The other page I'd like you to turn to is page 37. There's some wonderful helpful hints on page 37 through 39 of your book. Remember, while you're on the program, you have to watch everything that you put on your body and in your mouth to assure that there are no oils in them. While on the program, Dr. Suzanne recommends that we take a dry vitamin D, a B complex, and buffered vitamin C. In the middle of your book, there's the Trim Path Protocol mini workbook. Make sure to take advantage of these exercises. They are very helpful. Be sure to take a look at the recipes in the back of the book so your meal choices stay interesting. At Body Path, we're dedicated to helping you reach your weight loss goals. We're looking forward to hearing your success. Thanks.